I realize now that there's a video element to this that like
we got actually. I like
I
the
probably
beer.
don't. I don't. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't actually have to go to work and everything's remote.
Yeah. All right, let's just get going.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, it's that time once again for Next Guy Up, the sports podcast, when there is no sports. Forget about that. Forget about anything. Let's go down to North Carolina. Bring in the talent portion of the program. He is Cousin Mike. What's up, Cousin Mike?
What's going on, KP? Happy. I don't even know. I'm losing track of days.
4025 of quarantine.
I'm losing track. My girlfriend asked me today. My fiance asked me today what day of the week it was, and what like actual number day of the month it was, and I was like, I don't know anymore. I wake up, I sit on the couch, I go to work, and then I stop working, and then I sit on the couch and
well, it currently is
repeat.
Wednesday,
I don't know.
April 8th, 2020, and if we're listening to this years and years from now,
that's good to know.
This was the quarantine. We're right in the middle of it. We don't know how it's going to end.
We hope this is the middle. I sure hope this is the middle.
We hope this is the middle. I hope it's towards the end of it, actually.
Yeah.
And we'll make it through okay. But here we are on Stitcher. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Google Plus. We are on all this. And now our faces are on YouTube, thanks to the great video editing work of my partner in crime, Cousin Mike.
Yes,
great job with the YouTube video.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I've been excited about doing it again all week.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's only going to get better, folks. You should watch more than 5 minutes.
Yes.
Which is now our average. Oh, let's get everything important out now, because we have a 5-minute listener span on YouTube.
As do most YouTube videos.
Stick around, it gets better.
Do you watch a YouTube video to the end? I never do. So I get it. I get it.
Rarely.
But we'll get there where it will be appointment listening or watching, and we'll get it more more entertaining. So let's talk sports. There are no sports. Good night, everybody. That's it. That's it for tonight.
Glad you guys tuned in. We met our 5-minute quota. You actually listened to the whole podcast.
Thanks for stopping in. That was phenomenal. We'll see you next week. All right, we're just kidding around. There is some things to talk about as we try to, all of us try to just work our way through this unprecedented, weird time in our lives, in the world. And we do focus in on sports. We know there's a lot more important things going on, but this is a sports podcast, and we're going to talk about sports. Mike, what have you been doing? I know we talked last week how we really haven't missed it yet. Has that changed for you? Did you find it creeping in back into your pores this week?
A little. I mean, I do miss it. I definitely feel like I miss it. I've been watching a lot of MLB channels. Been playing old playoff games. Like I was watching the year that Arizona beat the Yankees. 2001 World Series. I mean, who was I watching today? It was more recent. It was Milwaukee might have been Arizona again. It might have been Milwaukee, Arizona. It was like the NLCS Game 5 or something from a couple years back. And I realized, like, this stinks. Like, I don't want to watch old baseball. I want to watch new baseball.
Yeah.
I want to,
Want to get mad?
Yeah. I mean, my blood pressure hasn't been this low for this long in a long time.
Well, that's probably good.
I don't know what to do with myself. I almost broke out an old North Stars hat for the podcast tonight. I rocked the Durham Bulls instead. I figured we would be a little baseball heavy. But like, we're supposed to be watching playoff hockey right now, which is one of my this is literally my favorite time of the year for sports. It's when baseball's just starting and I'm still hopeful and positive. and playoff hockey's going. Playoff hockey is so intense and fast paced and hard hitting, and like it's a whole different level of hockey. So this is when I'm supposed to be. It's beautiful weather. It was 85 today. It's beautiful weather. Baseball's on TV. Playoff hockey, like baseball during the day, playoff hockey at night. I got nothing, and it's sad. I'm depressed about it. I really am.
I hear you. I mean, Mike's in North Carolina. That's why it's 85 up here, up east. It was the low 60s, which is nice, which making this quarantine a lot worse because the weather's been perfect. The weather's been perfect. We're missing. Everybody's taking their walks and trying to social distance as best as they can, doing the best they can with this whole thing. And you're right, it is painful because this is a great time of year usually, and then even the draft. I don't know if you mentioned it. You might have the NFL draft. Everybody's represented this time of year. And it's being robbed of it. But baseball is trying things. They're at least talking about ways to get this moving along. And
they are.
Yep, I shared the story with you today about the proposal of starting the season, all games, the whole league, in the great state of Arizona. Now, did you get a chance to look through that?
I looked through that article. Okay. I think it's very wishful thinking. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll take it at this point. Mm-hmm. If they can pull this off, I'll take it. I wasn't going to be at the game anyway. I don't care if fans go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the bullet points that they're talking about doing are a little questionable to make this an actual baseball season.
Well, let's talk about them. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And this is what this really is like when Congress has a bill and they put in those little footballs, political footballs in it. That's what this looks like to me. It looks like Rob Manfred is throwing in everything he wants baseball to become in this proposal to get the games going.
Right.
One is no mound visits whatsoever from the catcher. I guess they try to social distance, trying to leave that the way it is. No mound visits whatsoever from the pitching coach or the catcher. Mike, what do you think about that?
I'm okay. That's one of the few I'm okay with.
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd start with an easy one because I'm all right with that too.
I'm all right with that. Like, listen, if you got to take the pitcher out, I don't know how many times I said it last year when old what's his name who's the Mets closer?
Edwin Diaz.
And when Edwin Diaz was pitching through his really tough times, which was the majority of the season, I don't know how many times I said I can't wait for Mickey Callaway just to stand up on the steps of the dugout and just be like, "Get over here! You're done! Just go away! Bring in the righty! Like,
come on, El Nino, get the hell off the mound!
Go home! Bring in the righty! Like, that's all, like just an angry manager yelling from the top step. These guys are professionals. They don't need to be babied.
Get the old Gong Show hook and just see the hook come behind him and pull him off. That would be fun. That's what they should do.
The bullpen cart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Another one will be implementing an electric strike zone to allow the plate umpire to maintain sufficient distance from the catcher and batter. So just getting one more body out of there using the electric strike zone, which they want to do anyway. Good chance to try it. At the times. Why not?
I like that they're doing it. I do. I've been pro electric strike zone. Just because it takes so much crying out of baseball and whining, and there's a lot of elements that it'll fix. Granted, it'll make things more difficult too. Like with every pro, there's going to be a con for it. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that one. I think it's funny though that they're not doing anything about the catcher and the batter.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What can you do?
If you're using the electric strike zone, move the catcher back 5 feet.
But that takes that. There's a lot. Then you're catching bounces. They're all over the place.
Yeah, it'll make it more interesting.
Have a robot catcher.
Stealing will be through the roof. Yeah, an extra 5 foot on that throw.
Yeah. All right. So those are the two that were ones we agree with. Now we're going to get to the meat of it. We'll see how you feel with this. 7-inning doubleheaders, which with an earlier than expected start date could allow baseball to come closer to the full 162.
But are you really playing 162 if you're only playing 7-inning doubleheaders?
No way the union sides off on that. If you do that, you're costing guys jobs.
You can't say that it's a true baseball season if every game is only 7 innings.
Right. Well, just a double headers, but yeah.
You're taking at least one at bat away.
Right.
From everybody at that point. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes. I like the double header idea. I think you play one double header a week, 2 double headers a week. You know what I mean? On top of there's no reason you shouldn't be able to squeeze in 5 to 7 games a week. If you're not leaving Arizona, if there's no travel involved, you wake up, you go to the stadium, you play, you go back to the hotel, you go back to sleep. Like, you don't have to get on a plane. You don't have to get on a bus. If you do, it's local. Why not play 2 games? Like, cry about it. Go ahead, but
I read there are 10 major league ready fields, spring training sites in Arizona. 10. Mm-hmm. So that's 10 fields you can play games on, and of course the Diamondbacks home stadium. Okay. So you got 11 major league ballparks that you could play in. There's 15 games you're gonna have to play. There's 30 teams. Everybody's got to play. Right. You know, you have to do doubleheaders. You have to. Yeah. And even if you do, a 12:30 start with 2 teams and then a 7:30 start with 2 other teams, they have to make it in there. So they have to do something.
Well, that's guaranteed to happen. That's the only way they're going to make that happen. But I think that because I'm not doing math right now. The scotch has got me.
I like going to 7-inning doubleheaders regularly. If they're gonna play doubleheaders, do 2 7 innings, and make it fair where all teams have to play that at least, I don't know, whatever, 3 times a year. As long as it's fair across the board, it's fair. Yeah. 9-inning doubleheaders go on forever. 7-inning doubleheaders, we have all done it in our leagues throughout the years. They do it in the minors. They do it in college. Not a bad idea doing 7-inning doubleheaders. Not a bad idea. But it can't be it can't be every game. It can't be every game.
No. No, but you should definitely be able to squeeze in a couple extra games in the week. I don't like the 7-inning idea because I feel like stats are gonna be.
Oh, fuck stats!
I know you hate stats. I know you hate stats, but
I mean, right now we don't have baseball at all.
I know.
We're worried about stats.
And I don't know.
In an ideal world, of course not. But there's got to be concessions. If we're gonna get the game on the field, there's got to be concessions.
Yeah.
Right now,
and I agree with that.
All right, so the last one would be, and this is for no reason, just to get interest going, because of course it takes a lot out when there's no crowd. It does. It takes the ambiance of watching the game out. It gets a little boringer, if that's a word. Regular use of on-field microphones by players as an added bonus for TV viewers is a must if they're gonna do this.
I think they should be doing that regardless of this. I mean, they did it during spring training. One of the Mets games I watched, Pete Alonso was mic'd up when he was on the field. Dom Smith was mic'd up when he was on the field. It adds, like, let's be real. There's enough time in between pitches for these guys to have a full commentary.
I feel bad for the announcers. I mean, the crowd adds so much background noise that they don't have to constantly talk. It's part of. Without that, they have to pump fake crowd noise into the game. Something.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if, for television purposes, they pump in sound.
Which is going to sound weird because you're going to see no crowd there, but you're going to hear crowd.
Right. But
music is something. It has to be. They have to get creative.
I think that if they just change the center field camera angle a little bit, so you don't see as much of the empty seats behind the catcher, right? Like, you can't get rid of it totally,
right?
But you don't have to show all of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you could do camera angles the rest of the game and never show an empty seat.
Right.
You can, if you 360 cameras around the stadium, you never have to show an empty seat. You could do tight shots on everything that's happening.
I like handhelds on the field, like WWE, right with the guys. You know what I mean? Awesome. That would be good.
The sideline reporter that runs out and interviews the pitcher after he walks the guy, like while he's like, very XFL.
Very
XFL meets MLB.
Yeah. You know what? Unprecedented times. Times. They have to do something.
I like the mic'd up players, though. I think that's a great idea. I think they should do that. That should just be a permanent fixture in baseball at this point.
Way Rob Manfred and the union, Tony Clark and everybody can get baseball to us, get it to us. If this is what you guys have to do it. Please do it. Please do it.
Absolutely.
All right, what else is going on in the world of sports, Mike? You shared something with me with a race car driver. You want to tell that story?
Bubba Wallace so NASCAR really jumped on the esports bandwagon during this pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. So basically, they had their drivers all mic'd up playing the NASCAR video game as themselves.
Mic'd up?
They were mic'd up. Yeah. And they were all racing each other like it was a real race.
That's great.
And so Bubba Wallace, who drives the number 43 car, I only know that now, mind you. NASCAR's Hall of Fame is in North Carolina.
Yeah. You're basically sitting on NASCAR.
I'm in the holy grail of NASCAR. Yeah, the Charlotte 500 is like one of the biggest.
You could be living in Cooperstown as a baseball team, Canton as a football fan. There you are. Yes. Yeah.
And here I am, and I have no left turns. Left turns all day.
Yeah. Left turns made me crash.
But in the middle, he got wrecked by another driver.
In a video, there's a video
game. In the game. And his quote was, "That's it. That's why I don't take this shit seriously. Peace out." And you could hear like the headset and the controller hit the ground.
Bitch.
And he walked out. That's funny, but the reason it's even a story is because he quit Blue Emu, who's the pain relieving rub, right? Okay. The new Icy Hot, right?
Okay.
They were his sponsor, and they cut him from his sponsor. He lost a sponsor.
What a prick! Are you serious?
He lost a sponsor.
Are Blue you serious?
Tweeted at him. They said, "Bye-bye, Bubba. We're interested in drivers, not quitters." They were so pissed that he quit the race.
That is something, man.
And that he was such a sore loser about it that they were like, "Nah, we're not sponsoring you anymore."
That's sick. That's sick.
Yeah. He actually lost a sponsor playing a video game. I can't. You can't even make that up. Like, how do you manage to lose a sponsor playing video games when you're an actual you're a real life NASCAR driver?
They had to like want out of that kind of thing. I mean, Bubba Wallace. I'm just looking it up now. Darrell Wallace is his dad, so he's a second generation driver. He's probably an entitled little bitch. And they probably had it with him, and he probably acted like the entitled little bitch that he is. In this time, when NASCAR was trying to give their fans something, he does that, embarrasses them. And right. Blue Emu, is it?
Yeah, Blue Emu was like,
stepped up like the bosses they are, and said, "Get the fuck out of here, dude." Yeah. I love it.
First of all, so NASCAR boggles my mind, right? So the drivers are they all seem like, again, I don't watch it, right? I have a very outside view to it. A lot of the people I know watch it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I live in the South, right? Like, it's popular here.
Yeah.
A lot of the drivers seem like entitled bitches. A lot of them.
Yes.
A lot of them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that, in contrast to the general fan base, who are not entitled people at all. Like, I'm going to try and be nice about it. They like their Bud Lights and their country music and their suspenders. And I mean, yeah, God bless them.
This whole segment's brought to you by Bud Light. This whole segment.
And they're just not those kind of people. No. They're the polar opposite.
No, they're red, white, and blue. You know.
Yes.
Sometimes Confederate flag loving most.
Oh yeah, they are.
That quitting does not go. It's a video game. You know, it's supposed to be fun. You're gonna take it. You're gonna act like a little baby back bitch. You're gonna be tossed. Yeah.
If I need any, I'm getting Blue Emu.
Next time I pull a muscle, I'm running or limping most likely to the store and grabbing me some Blue Emu and going, "This is for you, Blue Emu." That's right. That's so funny.
Hey, Bubba. But I cannot and my goal this year, prior to this nonsense that we're going through, I want to go to a NASCAR event. to a true NASCAR event.
Amazing. It's gotta be sick.
Because as boring as it is on television,
uh-huh.
because it's just like the cars keep going, right? Like there's nothing, live. Right. I've been to like, I don't know, if there was a single A equivalent of a NASCAR race, I had been to that. You know what I mean? Local drivers, souped up personal cars.
Out here we have Riverhead Raceway, it's called.
Right.
I've been to that.
Yeah. So I went to one in Minnesota, and it was fun. It's a lot of fun when the cars go zipping by. They're loud. Yep. It's exciting. So I get why you go to events. I get that. I think, and I really want to get to a true NASCAR event.
Yeah.
I plan on, I'm going to drop a couple $100, buy some legit tickets, and really experience what NASCAR is. Just because, why not? It's something it's on my bucket list, but I don't know how they watch it on television. That I can't.
On some unbelievable. It's all day. It's all day. They say baseball is boring. I feel NASCAR is all freaking day, and nothing happens. And I know a saying from a baseball fan. What do you mean nothing happens? At least baseball, there is some kind of strategy, and maybe there's strategy in NASCAR. But the strategy is so played. Oh my God, he's going to take him into the one corner.
And that's like the other aspect. There's so much strategy, science. There's so many of those things, engineering, physics that go into those cars.
But you can't root for it.
Right, you can't cheer for it, and all you can do is like appreciate it.
Guys like me and you, when we watch baseball, and a lot of people that listen to our podcast, both of them, we're doing pitch selection, we're doing hit and run, we're doing stuff. Yeah, we'll take him in the corner. Oh, he's gonna catch the draft. Oh, he's gonna block this guy. That's it. Yeah, that's it. No one's gonna be like, oh my God, look at the engine and the torque and all that. I don't know what I'm talking about. All that stuff they put on. You can't root for that.
Yeah.
So
like the Indy 500 or the Charlotte 500. They drive 500 miles. If you average 200 miles an hour, that's still 2.5 hours of driving you got to do.
It sucks.
And nobody averages 200. I know they hit 200, but that's not they're going to be there. I hit 90 on I-95.
If you had that
average 90 on I-95, you know what I mean? Like
you can have dinner with your parents a lot more.
I could drive up almost every day.
Exactly. Yeah, JoJo, just get him a NASCAR. I know you don't want our OnlyFans, and just listen to us.
It's only probably $700,000-$800,000.
That's it.
to get me outfitted to get up there more often.
Just a few more downloads, and we're gonna be there.
We're there almost. Yeah, almost. Our podcast money could almost buy a sticker to put on a NASCAR. just a general sticker, not one of our stickers.
Like a sticker.
We can't afford to get our own sticker.
One of my son's Blazing the Monster Machine stickers.
Yeah. We could almost get one of them on there. So.
All right, Mike, you shared another story with us. What was it?
This one the NBA, I got to give the NBA a lot of credit. They're trying to be really creative during this time to keep fans happy. We talked last week about the NBA 2K basketball tournament that they were going to play. I did tune in, and I very quickly tuned out. There was none of the smack talk. It was watching two guys play a video game.
That sucks.
Like
there's way for fun.
It could have been great.
Yeah.
The one matchup I saw, I don't even remember who was playing. I know the teams they were playing with was the Nets and the Lakers, if that helps anybody for any point of reference. But the guys, the actual NBA stars that were playing were boring as shit. I was like, really? Is this what we're doing? Like, I was waiting for somebody's kid to run in, just anything.
Bubba Wallace shows up, throwing a thing.
Yeah, just anything. Anything. Like, it was bad. So knock over a cup of water. Do something. Just to make you go, or something. Like, it was bad. It was bad. But during the week, because I'd been following that a little bit on the radio so we could talk about it on here, I heard a great story from Kendrick Perkins. He played for the Celtics. Is the only team I know. I'm sure there was more. Again, we're not basketball guys, but we have to dig deep to do a sports podcast when there's no sport.
Right? I was looking for ping pong stories. Yeah, go ahead.
So Kendrick Perkins goes into a department store to make a credit card with his purchase, and it got declined. And he was like, huh. His kids ran up $16,000.
$1,600?
No. Add a zero. $16,000
in video games?
On Fortnite.
On Fortnite, free game.
It's a free game. You can they have in-game purchases, like new outfits and hats and boots and stuff. $16,000. That's what happens when parents don't leave your kids alone with your credit card on a video game.
Wow. I remember when I was a kid, 976 numbers came out, those party lines. You're probably too young for it, Mike. But there was these 976 numbers. This is before chat rooms and internet and all that. And it was like something ridiculous, like $4 a minute, And one of the days we were off from school, me, Tom Barberry, the big Tom from Tioga Wellness, Mike Schinkel, and we all sat in my house or Tom's house or one of our houses, and we stayed on the party line playing around with people all day long, pretending we were this, that, or the next thing. And then the bill was like $400 or something like that. And we got our asses kicked up and down Richard Avenue.
Oh, I'm sure.
$16,000?
Yeah. Oh. And he actually tried to dispute it with the credit card company. I don't know how well that worked out for him.
I don't. If they have a tangible, they can show proof. There's no, you didn't get stolen. That ain't happening, pal.
No, it didn't get stolen. I have a feeling that he owes them $16,000.
You're on the hook with $16K. Is this guy still in the league?
No, he's an analyst. He just retired though recently.
So he's got the money.
Oh yeah, he's got the money. He's won. I want to say he was on the Celtics when they won the championship.
Okay.
And I knew his name before the story, so he's at least notable enough that I know him. So if I know you, you probably got a good paycheck.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't get paid, I don't know you. If you're a bench guy, I have no idea who you are.
Right.
So for me to know his name, odds are he made some good money in his day. And then he's an analyst now, and So, but now the NBA's newest idea is they're gonna have a horse tournament.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, so I don't know how it's gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
If it's gonna be live with guys like doing what we're doing now, set up on a much. Obviously, they have the money to set it up on a much nicer scale.
Like at their homes?
And their home gym or their driveway, So most of them, if they don't have a home basketball, really all you need is a hoop.
They have something,
in the driveway. You don't need anything super fancy for it. And that's the new one. So that I think is going to be more fun than watching these guys play video games. Was just
much more fun.
That was a snoozer. And it was a personality thing. The guys that they had playing are great basketball players.
Yeah.
We watch sports to see guys do things we love at a level we can't do it.
I can watch you play, and I can watch a guy do something I love at a level I can't do it. So,
but in the big picture of sports, I love watching Jacob deGrom pitch.
Yeah.
Because I can never do that. It's beautiful. Everything about it's beautiful. I can't do it.
No.
You know what I can do? I could probably beat those guys in NBA 2K. I don't need to watch them do that.
Yeah.
I need to watch them dunk
do what
in
they do.
real.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're gonna not be doing that, and you're gonna be trying to do what we do, you got to have some personality. Clearly, right? Clearly, we've shown how much personality you need to do this. This isn't easy to do. To sit with one guy for an hour
and
not stop talking.
Yeah.
Crack jokes, make people laugh, have some wise ass comments, have a good time.
Right.
This is difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure right now a handful of eyes just rolled at me, like, oh, you guys are amateurs. Yes, we are amateurs, but we're above average amateurs. Yes. All right, let's be real.
Agreed.
Like, and please try and start a podcast.
Absolutely.
Go
come
for
on
it.
ours. Come on
ours. Come on ours.
Come on ours.
You take Keith's role as the host and moderator.
Yeah.
Which is actually the easier of the two roles.
100%.
Because Keith asks me a question and then I run my mouth for 10 minutes.
100%.
So how about you come on and I'll shut up.
Right.
And let you carry this conversation for an hour.
Right.
Let's see how many eyes roll after that happens. When we have and we're doing the video element, so they'll even get to see your face.
That's right.
When you're just
you see me going to the phone every 5 seconds here.
Yeah. Which you need to do. You got to pull up the next question for me to talk shit about.
Right. That's how this works. That's how this works.
That's how it works, people. 2 years, we got this thing dialed in.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about last thing of the week here. Tom Brady, the great Thomas Brady from Northern California.
Yeah.
Through Michigan to New England, now in Tampa Bay. The great Tom Brady.
I can't believe he's in Tampa Bay.
Mr. Giselle.
I can't wait to see him in that creamsicle orange.
Yeah, I know.
Or those ugly grays. Like, it's going to be so weird.
This whole world's coming to an end, there's no doubt. All right, so Tom Brady was on Howard Stern today, the great Howard Stern today.
That caught me off guard. I didn't see that coming.
No one did. So I pulled some stuff he said, and I have it here, and I want to bounce it off you, and I want you to rate or see how truthful Tom Brady's being with us with some of the stuff he said on Howard today. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
All right. So Tom Brady, first of all, I thought the most interesting is he's renting Derek Jeter's house. Oh, look at this. What we got here?
It's monkey shoulder.
Monkey shoulder. Looks like a nice bottle.
It's reasonably priced and delicious. There you go. So
we are being unofficially sponsored by Monkey Shoulder.
Yes, that's right. This next segment brought to you by Monkey Shoulder.
Tom Brady is brought to you by Monkey Shoulder because
this Jetman can talk about Tom Brady. Brought to you by Monkey Shoulder.
Because a monkey can shoulder a better weight than he can at this point. All right, so here we go.
In Jeter's house. That is
He's renting Derek Jeter's house.
First of all, didn't he move to Florida at the end of the season? You're a billionaire at this point, right? I have to imagine between him and Giselle, that household has to be teetering in $1 billion.
Easy. Over $1 billion.
Well, I mean, he's never been the highest paid guy in the league.
But think about the endorsements.
But between endorsements, her modeling money, for the long time, she was the breadwinner in the household.
Investments. You know these guys invest. Not like back when we talk investments right now. You know the investments around it.
Yeah. But I mean, and she was the breadwinner. She was making more money modeling than he was being a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Easily.
So how did you not, like, you can buy turnkey. You mean to tell me there wasn't a $40 million mansion on the market?
I know.
It's you had to rent Jeter's place.
Think about
the
security camera. And this is going to sound sick, and this is for the men listening. The security camera, if it has footage of Hannah Davis and Giselle in the shower, think about the money that Girls Gone Wild could make off.
If they weren't billionaires before.
You know what I mean? And yes, girls, Tom Brady and Derek Jeter. I get it. Yes, I get it.
Yeah. And that would sell too. That would sell too.
That would sell. All right, here are some of the things Tom Brady said. When he said he went to last season knowing it'll probably be his last with the Patriots, I believe him.
I 100% believe him. I think once he started the season on a 1-year deal with no contract, he had made up his mind.
Yeah.
He said, all right, this is it. You guys obviously didn't want to invest in me for 2 to 3 years. And again, I don't think he was looking for a 10-year deal, obviously, but they didn't want to offer him a new contract. So I think once he was playing on his last contract, I think he knew he was out.
Absolutely. And he says he does not care about his legacy. Bullshit.
He's totally full of shit.
Bullshit.
Totally full of shit.
That guy's been he's almost as guarded as A-Rod. You're gonna tell me you're not give me a break.
And the best thing for his legacy would have been for him to retire and go out on top.
Right. That's true. So, I don't know.
I mean, granted, New England didn't win the Super Bowl last year, They were a good team. He made the playoffs, 17 out of 20 years they won the NFC East. And I think the 2 years that they didn't, he wasn't even the quarterback. Those are the seasons he was injured.
Yeah.
He could have went out as, and don't get me wrong, 1 year in Tampa isn't going to change the fact that he's the greatest modern day, hands down, if not
100%.
the greatest ever. He's in the conversation for greatest ever.
He's in the conversation. There's no way no one can leave him out of it. If you call him that, that's another story, but he's in the conversation.
Yeah.
He's definitely in the conversation. Yeah. He said he skipped OTAs the last couple of years because Gisele wasn't satisfied in their marriage. And he wanted to stay home and it seems a little, I don't know. I don't know. He wanted to check himself is what he said exactly. Check himself.
He didn't have anything to first of all, same head coach, same system, same team for 15 years, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give him it was 20, but I'm going to give him the last 5 years for him to say I skipped OTAs. OTAs are for new guys, rookies, guys that need to learn the playbook. Tom Brady at this point, if he would have stayed in New England another year, right? He could have showed up on Wednesdays for walkthrough and a light toss on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
He knows the playbook. He knows what the coach is like. He's in Belichick. Him and Belichick has been working together for 20 years. Think about you haven't been married anywhere close to 20 years.
7 years.
7 years. And you already know probably what your wife is about to do.
Yeah, she's going to just kick my ass. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Right. But you see it coming. You're like, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, gee.
Did I leave the toothpaste out again?
Damn it. I needed to. And that's after only 7 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of marriage.
Yeah.
They were married for 20.
Yeah. True.
He didn't need to be at OTAs. And honestly, I doubt he's going to be at a whole lot of OTAs in Tampa. I really think that got worked into his contract. He's like, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to learn your playbook. I'm going to come. I'm going to hang out with the guys. He's not going to be running around with the 19, 20-year-olds.
No. He made mention of that. He also said he stopped drinking and smoking weed late in high school because he didn't want to upset his father, who at one time was pushing Tom to become a priest. Picture that.
That would have been a totally different storyline. Man. Yeah. I believe that he doesn't drink a lot now. Listen, he's what, 43?
43.
And I'm 30. What am I, 30?
You'll get this.
I'm 36 still. And he looks way better than I do. But I clearly drank, and smoked for a long time. I smoked for almost 20 years,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he did, or else he wouldn't be doing what he's doing today. So I believe it. I believe that he's a little cleaner than most.
Speaking of clean, he claims to drink 200 ounces of water a day.
That is a shit ton of water.
A lot of water.
That's a lot of water. I used to tell my Marines they needed to drink half their body weight every day.
Okay.
And that was just to keep up physically with what the Marine Corps asked of us.
Uh-huh.
So if you were 200 pounds, you needed to drink 100 ounces. And that was tough to do.
That is tough.
I wasn't even 200 pounds at the time. I was like 165, 170. And I still had a hard time getting that much water in me.
Hey, beer is made with water. This is made in water.
Yeah.
So it counts.
Yeah. Number one ingredient. I don't know. What's the number one ingredient in Scotch?
It's Bud Light. It's mostly water.
Scotch doesn't have a ingredient list on here.
Yeah, it's probably for good reason. Brady revealed that he would tell Belichick he wouldn't throw a receiver if he didn't trust him. That's obvious.
Obvious. And he showed that on the field. He absolutely showed that on the field.
Absolutely.
He'd have rookies wide open and be like, nah, I'll squeeze one into Edelman.
Yeah, exactly. I'll throw it to Gronk. Gronk's not on the team anymore. I don't care. I'm going to throw it to him.
Yeah,
I see him in the first row. I'm hitting.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Gronk for winning the 24/7 WWE Championship at WrestleMania this weekend. Brady said he wouldn't have success without Belichick and Belichick wouldn't have success without Brady. A lot of us always claim that, but it's good to hear Tom say it.
I would agree with that. I don't know how. I'm probably on the. Actually, I don't know what side of the fence I'm on now that I think about it. I was gonna say Belichick probably didn't need Brady.
He did. He sucked in Cleveland. When he coached for Cleveland, he sucked. Couldn't get out of his own way.
Matt Castle got him 11 wins.
Well, it was also the system too. Not only Belichick, but the other coaches he had and the system he put in place.
In New England. I'm talking about in New England. If you just took if you take Brady out of the equation, you plugged in Matt Castle for a year.
For a year. But could he have done it in 2003? I mean, Brady's done it year after year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Matt Castle, when he went over to Kansas City, what happened? He disappeared. We're going to see who's the San Francisco guy? I can't think of his name right now.
Jimmy Garoppolo?
Garoppolo's he's not going to be the guy we think he is. He isn't. He got exposed in the playoffs. Brady never got exposed in the playoffs. Playoffs is where he came to shine, Yeah. So yeah. I disagree. I think they both need each other. I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see that this year coming up. I would like to see it when Brady was younger because you can always blame that he's 43 now, and also Belichick's no spring chicken either. So I'd like to see this happen 10 years ago, but we're going to see both of those. Both of them, I think. If I had it, if first of all, if they played the season. But that's how I see it. At least that's how I see it.
Yeah. I know who is happy about this.
What's this?
Buffalo fans.
Oh yeah.
They are pumped right now.
Buffalo's sitting pretty. And lastly, he said, and I don't know if you watch Blue Bloods. I do. Bridget Moynihan. We know the beautiful Bridget Moynihan. Aaron Reagan on Blue Bloods. She was pregnant with Brady's kid when he fell in love with Gisele Bündchen. And when Howard Stern pressed him on, he said, it was a difficult time. That's it.
Wait a minute. Back up. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Tom Brady was dating Bridget Moynihan. I think living with her, not married. But she was pregnant with Tom Brady's oldest son. And you'll see him. He's the oldest son. He's still at all the games and everything. But as she's pregnant, he decided he met Gisele. And he fell in love with Gisele just like every warm-blooded American boy.
Yeah.
So Bridget Moynihan is no slouch. She is no Gisele.
Yeah. So she's a 9.98 and Gisele is a solid 11. Like,
if when I was engaged to my wife, we met Gisele and she showed interest in me, my wife would have been mad at me for not taking the opportunity. Yeah. Just like I would if Justin Timberlake hit on her. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
If Justin Timberlake hit on her, I wouldn't feel bad about it.
No.
Same thing. So Bridget Moynihan should carry it like a badge of honor that it took the best supermodel, the most beautiful woman in the world, to steal Tom from her.
Yeah. So she was pregnant with Tom's kid, huh?
Yeah.
How many does he? This is how little I do my best. I do my best to not follow, especially football players, off-field life. I have no idea. I didn't even know Tom Brady had kids. So it sounds like multiple at this point.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Now there was a song in the early '80s, Mike, before you were born, called "Video Killed the Radio Star."
I know that one.
Okay, so Video's killing the podcast star because they're seeing that I can't come up with the stuff on top of my head. Then I'm going to my trusty little phone, like every radio podcast host in America and in Scotland. Hello, ball caps and bagpipes, and all over the world to see where Brady is. So on the podcast, you guys listening in your car, thank you. You made it to 43 minutes. We appreciate it. And thank you for listening. And also, thank you for understanding that I'm not a genius and I'd have to look this stuff up. Brady's kids. Let's see here. Brady's kids.
I see 3. I don't know what took you so long. I got 3.
Because I'm talking like an idiot. 3. Actually,
John Moynihan.
That's our boy.
Which is the one with Bridget. And then Vivian and Benjamin.
Pick the names. Yeah, that's them. I put in Brady's kids, and what do you think came up?
The Brady Bunch.
Here's a story of a lovely lady. Oh, I was about to say he's got 6 kids, 3 girls, 3 boys. The youngest one with hair of gold. Hair and curls, or whatever the fuck it is.
I saw a great a great throwback. Give me a second. Let me see. Talk for a second. Let me see if I can find this thing.
Sure. I can sing more.
I mean, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Save that for your. I love the Drinking with the Potters, by the way.
Yes, Hanging with the Potters Friday night, 8 o'clock.
Hanging
Facebook
with the Potters on Fridays.
Facebook Live. It's a fun thing to do with our friends. But I'm glad you check it out. It's his quarantine. Yeah, my wife, she's going nuts. She's just around with it. Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to talk about it real quick. Josh Hamilton, the great baseball player, Josh Hamilton, the great drug user, Josh Hamilton, home run hitting connoisseur, got arrested today for child endangerment. What he did is he's like the rest of us, all home with our kids. A lot of us are home with our kids. And he threw his kids, I believe I got the story right. I'm not going to look it up. Threw his kid's phone at her. She hit her in the chest. Ooh. He kind of like threw a chair across the room and hit her in the legs. And he said, I hope you tell that to the judge because I never want to see you again. Normally, if this story hit me a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I'd be like, what a piece of shit. But knowing what all of us stuck in our houses with our children, I get it. Dismiss the case. These kids are monsters. Yeah. And it could have been a lot worse. This guy's high on crack. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Release Hamilton. Release it.
I heard a great joke about how at the first day of homeschooling, 2 kids were suspended for fighting, and the teacher was put on probation for drinking on the job. So I only had to do it for a week with Brooklyn while she was here. I don't know. I got lucky. I wish I could. I got a great kid. Like she got up, she got on the computer, she did her shit. I did my work stuff, and then we played video games together until my fiance got home from the hospital. Like it was perfect.
She works in a hospital, just so you guys know.
Yeah, she's an occupational therapist. So I outkicked my coverage. Significantly outkicked my coverage.
Yeah. You're like Janikowski over there.
Yeah. In Denver. I'm Janikowski in Denver. Not even in Oakland. I'm in Denver.
With the wind blowing out.
With the wind at my back. With a nice wind blowing with me. Yeah. Yeah, I outkicked the shit out of my coverage.
Both of us, man. It's the Potter luck, man. I just look through our entire family tree.
Oh, my dad killed it. My dad killed it.
Destroyed it.
Yeah.
Destroyed it.
Yeah.
Destroyed it.
Yeah.
My dad did too. My mom is an angel. She's the life of the party everywhere she goes. My brother with Dina. I mean, we're Potter men are very lucky.
Yes.
We're very lucky men. We're very lucky men. We do our best to screw it up, but they stick with us.
Yeah, we do. We do really good at that too, but
I don't know. Guys, I want you to check out our friends Andy and a bunch of group has started a wrestling podcast called the Gimmick Podcast. We want you to check it out. They love wrestling. If you love wrestling, Mike and I don't do a lot of wrestling because Mike's not really a fan. I'm the most casual of casual fans. I try to fake it around WrestleMania.
I almost thought about getting into it. I
watched it from here.
I can't believe I waited till this long and now nobody hears it but me and you and our moms. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Dana White bought an island. Rented an island.
Let's keep that for next week because I wanted to start this podcast with that, and I forgot all about it. That's something that needs to be talked about. So let's save that for next week because I don't want to waste it at the end. It's crazy. We can't waste that on the end of a show. That's
first, but that's top 5
because I think because we may argue about that. I think you're into it. I'm not. So that might be
outrageous.
It's outrageous, but he's an asshole, and I'll get more into that next week.
I'd rent an island if I had the money.
I thought he bought the damn thing. He rented it.
Buy it too.
Yeah,
I'd buy it and then rent it out to other billionaire assholes.
He still has a girl's name. I don't care. He still has a girl's name, and it's always gonna have a girl's name. So screw you, Dana White. Screw you. So at least you got that. All right, Mike, let's wrap this baby up. We got 50 minutes. I got Modern Family tonight. Love that show. I stopped watching. It has been good for about 3 years, but tonight's the last episode, so I'm all excited to see that. Yeah. All right, Mike, that is it. I can't wait to see the video. Check us out on YouTube. Mike, what's the YouTube channel?
Next Guy Up Podcast.
You can't get more simple than that, guys.
I kept it simple. There's a link right on our Facebook page. I'll be posting it probably 2 or 3 times this week to try and get some people to view. We had almost 30 views last week.
I'll take 30 views. That's good.
Yeah. Again, I would like to see the longevity of the view grow a little bit. I'd rather have like 20 10-minute views than 35-minute views. Get a little more
depth. Yeah. Once we get into interviewing people, we'll do that. That always brings it out. Especially we get some people that are photogenic. Not that we're not photogenic, but we're not. My shit's behind me. I'll admit it. I don't care. You still got some youth in you. I'm a shot if they come. All right, Mike. That is it. Tiger King. I'm gonna do the Tiger King next week.
Yes.
I promise. I didn't have a chance. I had plenty of chances. I just didn't do it. I forgot about it. But next week I'll do Tiger King. All right, guys. That's it. You have something to say?
No, I'm good, man.
Then we're gonna say who's next. Take it easy.